What's up, everyone? Hope everyone's having a good Saturday afternoon or evening or early evening, I suppose. Or I guess it could be like the morning if you're in Hawaii or Asia or something. But let me just tweet this out. I'm very excited to dive into this. I've been excited for this one, and it's only a scrimmage, which is why I think it makes for perfect live stream material since I don't actually have to think too hard about it because it's just a scrimmage. But yeah, we got Darryn. I I saw the crazy Darryn stats, obviously, and like I'm not. I mean, barely crazy for him, but like your average freshman in a scrimmage. But yeah, we're just gonna dive into this film. Make sure the volume's off, okay? I don't want this to keep putting on. But yeah, very excited to watch. And I like that Louisville gave the start to Sananda Fru. I don't know. I think that's how you say that. I don't know. AJ is very good. Everyone's very good. It's crazy. This top three is bananas. It's unbelievable. I saw the one like Hezzy dunk he had against North Carolina. Oh, Mikel sidestep three. Okay, I like it. I like it. Early getting ready to cook early on. I respect it. I am in one dynasty fantasy basketball league, but I don't pay attention to it. I'm not a fantasy basketball guy. Oh, Darryn. Oh, Darryn. Oh, Darryn. um, I think I'll pull up my sleeper league. I actually haven't checked it in like months or more. But I do have one dynasty fantasy league, but I don't pay attention to it particularly. Who do I have on this team? I have Hero. This is I think 10 teams. Let me see how many teams is this. I think 10 teams. I have Hero, Franz, OG, Tatum, Durant, Chet, Kuminga, Scoot, Walker Kessler, Anthony Black, Dillingham, Andrew Nemhard, Kaysen Wallace, Reese Share, Cam Whitmore, Derek Lively, and Ty Jerome. Okay, my team is kind of heat, honestly. Yeah. It's like 5 free throw attempts and like 5 2-point attempts for Darryn is not even crazy special, but it's Darryn Peter. Like as always, as freaking tire ads. As always, as I've talked about on this channel plenty of times, a great benchmark for. Wait, did I miss? Okay, there's a Darryn 3. Yeah, a great benchmark for where I think of like how good a prospect is like what their quote unquote bad games look like. Damn, it's frightening how close in height Flory and Mikel Brown are. That's unfortunate. Burst looks pretty good here. I like the good first step. I mean, not really great technique or anything by Floyd right there, guarding out in the perimeter. But I do like the first step there for Mikel. Any NBA prospects that masses have given up on, but I still have hope for? Good question. There are probably players like that I'm not thinking of. Oh my god, Cole is that my guy Cole Rosario? What a rotation! Wow, that was a really impressive rotation by Rosario. I love Cole Rosario. He's gonna be sick. Beautiful play. Who are some prospects the NBA is seemingly giving up on that I like? Tyler. I mean, like I'm not really. I mean, like I think Tyler Smith is worth a lot. I think Tyler Smith is worth something. For sure. There's Flory. I saw the Wooly box score was nothing crazy. Oh, good dig by Peterson. There you go. Come on, Wooly. I like Wooly. I think he's going to have a good year, but it definitely did not look a good box score. Good pass. Good pass here by Darryn. Yeah, he's going to see a lot of this year. He's going to see a whole lot of show, a whole lot of blitz, and fortunately, he's really, really good against those coverages. But let's see, gets that in space to Flory. Good rotation by Mikel, actually. Yeah, it's a good rotation. Oh my goodness. I've said this. I've said this as well in the video I did about Mikel, but he is really like one of the best long passers in the draft. Like his skip, transition, outlet passing is crazy good. Foul. 14. I like Melvin Council. But yeah, I can't get over how small Flory looks. That's so unfortunate. Ugh, I wish he was blessed with more height. Good cut by Peterson. Beautiful. Yeah, this is something I'm excited to see that we just did not get to see at Prolific or his AAU stops. And just like the acceleration, he has the same, again, it's like the same like change of direction and like acceleration that he has on the ball, he can do off the ball. Very nice. Very nice, Darryn. Rosario getting stuck on that screen. I saw Ryan Conwell had a ridiculous box score, so I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to watch Conwell. But Flory is. I wish Flory was a better prospect than he was. I think I probably. I think I have a video on this channel actually about high school Flory Badunga or AU Flory, AU/high school Flory. It was absolutely special. Peterson, good movement three. He has Wooly in hell off the ball right now, unfortunately. It is a ridiculously tough ask, to be fair. I think Peterson is a very clearly better prospect than Anthony Davis. I also have like a kind of running hot take that I think Anthony Davis is like a half step below kind of his perception as a prospect because of some offensive limitations. So I think Darryn is a better prospect than AD. I mean, I also probably think Zion is the one to, for me at least. Like Darryn versus Zion is definitely an interesting. I'd probably take Darryn as well, honestly. He's just that level, honestly. He really is. But we'll see. Is that Alec? Is that Alec Khalifa? Goat. Great passer. He's a fun college big. Oh, we get ripped. Okay. Who is that? Who's 11? Kobe Rogers. Okay, Kobe Rogers. You have my attention for ripping Darryn Peterson. I'm excited to see. Oh my, woo, he's such a sick like DHO hub big. Really skilled. Just like such a fun player at the college level. Did I watch any of the Mizzou K-State exhibition game? No, I did not, but I did see Boateng ripping it on the saxophone before the game, which was awesome. But no, I didn't. How did Ant look? McNeely? This is such a good guard room for Louisville, man. Kansas should be higher ranked than them. Peterson, oh, a beautiful pass. Whew. Khalifa's cooking. Oh man, Darryn was so close this one. He's also fouling him, but nice. What are my expectations for the Duke Tennessee exhibition games? Um, I have no idea. It's an exhibition game. I mean, Cam's gonna be great. I think Ament's gonna be good. Gillespie's a monster. Um, so yeah. I don't know. I feel like people take exhibition basketball generally too seriously and put too much thought into it. And like I know I do like these videos and scouting videos, but I always do try to make it very clear that like this is mostly just one for fun and two getting like kind of a baseline. But I do think it's fun. So, oh my god, a beautiful tight window pass. Beautiful. Is that Kobe Rogers again? Kobe Rogers, you have my attention. But yeah, I think Ament will be better than people give him credit for. At least on like draft Twitter. I don't know. He's definitely like well respected by consensus. Probably too well respected by. Oh my Jesus! Darryn saw this one. That one Darryn read, but man, I kind of wanted Allie to hit that pass. That was awesome. What got me into NBA prospect analysis? Jackson Hoy and Mike Gribanov. No, I mean I just like always loved the draft since like I was a kid. Um honestly, honestly, the Luca year like kind of woke me up to like quote unquote draft Twitter because I think I was like 16 or 17 when Luca got drafted. I just remember being like pretty much. I mean, I was in high school. I was a casual at this point. Even though I was like writing stuff, I didn't know what I was doing. But I'm like, oh my god, there's no way there's like real people think DeAndre Ayton is better than you know. It's like the bell curve chart where it's like dumbass and genius, and it's like Luca won MVP of the EuroLeague, and it's like no, the competition level, and then it's like Luca won MVP of the EuroLeague 18, bro. And then I just kind of like I just like went down rabbit holes. I found Jackson Hoy, my grid podcast, and just like binged it, found some draft Twitter stuff, and just like started doing it myself. And then all these years later, but yeah, I feel like I never really think about it that one of my like origin stories of why I chose this life is because I was just baffled as that people did not think that there were real people that didn't think Luca should go number one. And then it's like, oh my god, there's a whole group of people who agree with me, and I'm not crazy. And it's like that's I saw Bryson Tiller had a nice box score. I'm a fan of his music, but I'm kind of surprised honestly, I shouldn't be surprised that they allowed him back in college to play basketball at this point. Eligibility's getting crazy. I mean, why wouldn't they, right? But he was semi-interesting to me at like Overtime Elite a couple years ago. So I'm intrigued to see what he looks like. Nice drive. Nice drive there. Who is that? Was that Trey White? USC legend? Good burst by Mikel. Yeah, I mean, I think this is, like the good and the bad with Mikel in one sentence. Like, I do think he's legitimately very quick. Like, his acceleration is impressive. Like, he gets up to top speed very quickly. Like, all it takes him was like a couple little chops, and then boom, he's at top speed. But then, I love him to play off 2 feet here, kick to the corner. It's just like a tough life with those kind of finishes. But again, his burst is so good. But yeah, I saw Darryn didn't actually play that much in this game, which I understand. I probably wouldn't risk him either. And I also probably wouldn't play Darryn more than like 25 minutes in a game that doesn't matter. Considering he can like walk onto the court and like not have that crazy of a game and still be like 26 on great efficiency. Good drive by Conwell. Conwell, a couple nice drives so far, just like taking what the defense gives him, which is always good to see. Who is 53? Ooh, nice pass by Trey White. Okay, Bryson Tiller playing like a big man is not something I really expected, but I kind of like it. Good screen, good roll. Just, I mean, terrible off-ball defense, but nice. Conwell. I think Conwell has a good shot to be like a second-round pick this year. Okay, I was gonna look at 53. Oh, that's Euro. Vangelis Zugris. I've not heard of him. As has been the case literally forever, my main blind spot is always going to be like international stuff. Okay, we got Cole back in the game. Nice. I remember seeing Cole last summer at Puma when he was unranked and I think he was unranked, but had a good sidestep. I think he was unranked, but had like an offer from Florida State, and I'm like, that's interesting. And then I watch him play, and I'm like, oh, that's why he has an offer from Florida State, because he's 6'7" and athletic as hell and can shoot. I'm like, ah. And there was another top prospect on his team who's just like was not impressive at all to me, who I was there to watch, and I'm like, oh, this Cole Rosario kid is actually the NBA player here. So I do think Cole is like an outside shot as being like a one and done, but definitely I'd say could be a 2-3 and done. Good D by Flory. I mean, Flory is just like, yes, he's like a 6'6" center, but he has legitimate wing movement skills. I don't think his like technique on the ball is there yet. Like very shaky, like footwork placement. But thankfully he has those. I mean, look at Flory, Cole Rosario, and Darryn has a chance to be a really cool trio on defense, because Darren's just such a menacing, like stunt and recover defender. Like you can never feel comfortable throwing this pass when Darren's in the vicinity, and then he's always liable to just like roam around and muck it up, and then he's so quick getting back to his assignment and changing directions, and like it's just, oh my god, beautiful. How do I think Quaintance is going to do this year? I would expect him to be very good. I actually didn't have literally seen no stats or clips or anything from the Purdue exhibition. Did he play? I saw nothing from that, so I don't know anything about how anyone played in that. But I would expect him to be good. I mean, I really trust Mark Pope, and I think Quaintance flashed last year. Good double here. Yeah, it was probably a rush decision by Darryn. I'll say that. It's going to be an adjustment for him, just, getting used to the speed and the physicality of college, of, good college teams when they trap and when they sell out to guard him, because that's what they're going to do, obviously, right? Like, we know it. Oh my God. When they, like, I mean, like, look, this is when he just is patient, draws the defender, hits Flory on the lob. Like, yeah, he's different. Yeah, I think Quaintance like flashed some really good stuff as like a passer. I think he has some real driving upside as well. He's just like a really explosive player. Like, he can't really dribble, and like he's not skilled or refined as a driver, but he's insanely athletic. And like, you can easily imagine him doing some stuff with like a DHO keep, or like, some high post, like stuff like this. I mean, imagine like, Jaden Quaintance right here. He's not the level of passer like Ali Khalifa, but he can spin over his left shoulder and dunk on. He had, who is it? I think it was on. He had a crazy drive. It was genuinely one of the best plays, like one of the most impressive plays this cycle. Actually, let me pull it up. It was he drove and dunk on Vasar, I think. And it was just like, it was just insane. And he had a crazy block on, I might not have tweeted it, whatever. He had a crazy block on VJ too in isolation. In like a one-on-one situation, he blocked, I think, a dunk attempt. Yeah, I mean, certainly no. And again, the thing with Peterson is he's already made like 4 monster defensive plays in this game, even though he's been like, relative by his standards, nothing special on offense. Which is why, I think part of my confidence is that, like, I don't think defense is a guarantee for AJ or Cam. I mean, or, defensive impact, the level of what Darryn has already proven is a guarantee for AJ or Cam. Obviously, they could both get there, but like, I don't have to guess. I don't like have a deep enough knowledge of prospect Kobe to really say definitively, but when I went back and watched a little bit, their offense was pretty different. Like, I didn't think their offense felt that similar at all when I watched, but defensively, a beautiful like movement 3 right there. Oh my goodness. It would be super funny if Peterson was like 40% from 3 at Kansas after being like 20, like low 30s, high 20s in AU and prolific. But yeah, from what I watch of the Kobe prospect stuff, it's certainly good hands by Darryn. It certainly did seem like there were a lot of defensive similarities. Like, they played a similar role. Like, both of them played on, oh my Lord, both of them played on like teams where they were like the biggest player. They did a lot of rim protection. Yeah, I should have been like been more skeptical of Reed than I ended, because I was a Reed skeptic for most of the cycle, and I kind of like came around late. I still didn't have him as high as he went. I think I had him like 6 or 7. And I still think he'll be okay long term. But yeah, no, I certainly, beautiful screen nap by Darryn. I mean, you can just see how Darryn, like, again, it's a combination of like the movement skills, but also just being smart as hell. Like, he sees the Khalifa's like stepping this way to kind of run like little handoff screen. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna dip around and contest this shot and make it basically impossible. Such a monster. Oh, Darren's gonna be sick off ball. Yeah, he's awesome. I have almost no question. But yeah, I think Reed was definitely slightly overrated, as I talked about on the channel last year. Even though, like I said, I feel like people are going to get too low on him and the pendulum's going to swing too far the other way, because he does legitimately have like really special traits on defense. And I think the shot can regressed positively for him still. But I do just think like people who had real like difference making star difference making star upside. Like I just don't think that's the case. It would be cool, obviously, but yeah, I'm so happy for AJ. He's awesome. He was also one of my favorite. Oh yeah, it definitely does. Yeah, for sure. He was also one of my favorite prospects. I loved AJ, man. He was so much fun at UCSD. I very much regret not going to see a college AJ game because I only live like a couple hours from where he went to school, and he was electric on tape. And I wish I took more advantage of that. Good drive, but again, I'm really enjoying Ryan Conwell on these like second side drives. I don't know, man. I do have like thoughts and in-depth thoughts on the Pacers game because I was taking notes on it from like the vast majority, but by the end of that game, I was just like, I have to turn on my fan brain and come back to this later. But I wrote about Mathurin actually this morning, and I posted on my Twitter. I recommend you read that. I think he's going to be very important for them this year, obviously, and he was obviously ridiculous in that game. But I don't know. Pacers are still the Pacers. Everyone's injured. They can still find ways to win, be scrappy, do their thing, get contributions from unexpected places. Jarris looked awesome. Jarris, that was awesome. That was sick. I was very happy about the Jarris Walker performance. I just looked he just looked a different level of like confident and decisive. Like he had 2 drives that he took all the way to the rim. Like one early, I think it was literally his first touch of the game, and then he had the clutch one on the baseline, and he had like the reverse layup. I can count on one hand, I feel like, the amount of NBA drives to the rim with multiple dribbles that ended in like layups that Jarris Walker has generated. And that's what I literally have a video on this channel, like talking about this exact thing, where it's like Jarris is such a freak athlete with awesome touch and skill, but for some reason he doesn't like to go to the rim. Good D by Mikel. Mikel's defense has been pretty good in this game. He hasn't done much on offense, but I have enjoyed his defense. Yeah, I do think the size and the lateral quickness are going to be nice for him. Siakam is too underrated. Always. Yeah, he's always. I mean, he's like he's conservatively a top 20 player in the league and is not treated as such. Is this a steal from Darryn, or is this a steal from Melvin Council? I feel like this is more Melvin Council steal than Darryn Peterson steal, to be fully fair to him. But yeah, Jarris's confidence in that game. I mean, it was Jarris's confidence and just like the way that Mathurin was able to get to his spots against that defense. I mean, look again, like they're missing Caruso and Kaysen and all those guys, but they still had Lou Dort, they still had Shea, they still had Chet, they still had Isaiah Hartenstein and J-Dub, obviously. That's what I was thinking of. What a good drive. Really hitting the neck there. Ooh. But yeah, another good Conwell drive, by the way. That's like the 5th time I've said this. Oh, is that Paul Mbia for Kansas? I was curious about him. Yeah, I adore Pascal Siakam. He's my hero. It's crazy because like that first like year, that first like half regular season and postseason run we had Siakam, he like didn't look that crazy. Like his defense was really suspect. He, like wasn't that impressive athletically, and I was like a little bit scared about the impending contract. And then he comes back next year, and the next year he's just like everything you could ever hope for. And I'm so glad that it worked out the way it did. Conwell getting a little Who's my MVP pick this year? I picked Shea before the season, and it's probably just going to be Wemby. but I picked Shea. I had Shea. I had Shea MVP. I had Wemby Depoy. I had Cooper Rookie of the Year. I had Franz Most Improved. I had Malik Monk Sixth Man of the Year, and I had Mike Brown Coach of the Year was my award pick slate. I think Cam will be fine. I think in the long term he can break out of that mold, but he had a sick pass in the first game against the Bucks. I was watching. Yeah, good drive. Again, he's just like he's going to be a really good pick and roll paint touch guy. But yeah, I was watching the tape. I was watching the Wizards rookies. I was watching Trey Johnson, and he had one of his shots. It was like a sidestep corner three. It was like a beautiful like reject driving kick by Cam Whitmore, and I'm like, I paused and rewinded 3 times. I'm like, that's not Cam Whitmore. You know, I've kind of had this take for years that like Cam Whitmore can pass. He just really doesn't want to. Like since he's been in high school, he will put a real NBA pass on tape like once every 4 games, but it is once every 4 games. Those are great. His like change of direction on these closeouts looks really impressive. Yeah, really impressive. Pull up. Shots aren't falling for him. That happens. Shea, Luka, Wemby, MVP race. Yeah, I was feeling really badly about my Shea MVP pick through 3/4 of the good drive by Woolley. Good rotation. Oh, it's Flory steal. Wow. All right, Flory settled into this game nicely. Woolley has unfortunately struggled quite a bit. But good play by Flory. I don't necessarily disagree with you on Cam Whitmore, but I think it's lost on a lot of people that he legitimately like has 3 or 4 more years until his brain fully develops. Like this is not stuff that's set in stone for players this young, and especially I think hopefully like again I'm optimistic that this environment change can be good for him because obviously it's partly like mental and like what they are internally, but also it's like if your environment's not I don't know why the hell they it's like if you're it was foul if your environment's not good. Pass by Mikel. His transition passing, like I said, so good. If your environment's like fucked at that age, like at 18, 19, 20, and especially because it seems like the Villanova like culture was very bad, like it was not great with Kyle Neptune. So that's again like just to like I don't think of it as much of excuses as people like to say it is, but as much as just like explanations for why things happen. But point being, if this is still Cam Whitmore in 5 years, then he's never gonna get it. Yeah, Trey is an absurd shooting prospect. He's gonna be awesome. What happens here? Just like a little late reacting and tries to reach there. Yeah. That's what happens when you reach, unfortunately. Mikel. I honestly feel like Mikel's had a pretty solid first half, aside from his jumpers just not falling. But yeah, I think he's been pretty solid otherwise. Curious to see if Elmarco Jackson can show me anything. Darryn? Is that going to go in? Of course it is. Wooly could drive. He's just really struggling with the length and the also great rotation by Tiller. Don't. Really struggling. That's a great rotation by Tiller. I feel like this video has like an unnatural. I feel like this YouTube video has an unnatural amount of ads. Yeah, let's keep running this tape. Conwell. Okay. Let's get back into this. Okay, Darryn. I know Darryn has like 7 or something more. Actually, no, he hit the 3. Yeah, you probably should have just hit Flory right here, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get it also because Wooly is lurking and Flory's not like crazy trustworthy with the ball. So I do understand it. But and then the reload, I love this reload. I mean, that's another good off ball thing that Darryn is good at, just the reloads. Did he get fouled here? He AJ and Cam, but mostly he and AJ are like generational foul baiters. it is awesome. They both. I think AJ is probably the worst defender. Darryn is close behind, and then Cam. I don't think foul baits really as much. He's just gigantic, and nobody can really. Or a good block, but Flory's just so damn athletic and drop like. Peterson. I feel like Peterson's basically got like all of his buckets just moving off the ball. Looks like Mikel thought he was covered here. So I understand not. Darryn Peterson is ridiculous. Crazy, crazy player. Conwell? I think Cooper's a better prospect than Cam Boozer by a decent margin, personally. But I do think people who prefer Cam just generally prefer his scoring upside and just like his scoring production throughout his career. Good seal by Flory. $47 dunks. That's so crazy for Conwell. Like, whew. Man, Flory almost got that one. Looks like he almost got that one. Almost. Yeah, he's just, again, a little too small to get to that block. But Mikel, more good point of attack defense. Yeah, I can't say I expected Mikel to be acquitting himself much more comfortably on defense than offense. But that is what's happening. Yeah, this is another Darryn should have just taken the pass to Rosario. Looks like he's in his head a bit, and rushing a bit. Cam is a really good creator prospect, and I do think post ups can move the needle. I think that they definitely can if you're good enough at them, and I think Cam can definitely be good enough at them. But yeah, it's gonna have to be a lot of drives and like face ups and closeouts and stuff like that, and pick and pops. Whew. Conwell again. 4 for 12. I feel like he's been better than 4 for 12. We're calling it exhibition game, not his fault. Good swing by Rosario. I'm excited for what he can do. I'm excited to watch the Arkansas one as well. Who did Arkansas play? Oh, it was Arkansas Cincinnati, right? Yeah. I'm curious to see that one. I'm curious to watch Caleb Wilson as well in that North Carolina team, which I don't have high hopes for, but I like Caleb Wilson a lot. He's going to take so many threes this year. I am curious to see just how high his 3-point volume can get. Because I want him still going downhill as his primary mode of creation. But it would obviously be cool if he's at 12 threes per 100. I think he could get there. It'd be really cool. It's just the one kind of quote unquote missing-ish piece of his projection, I guess. Kansas should be higher than 6, man. They got Darryn Peterson. Texas Tech should probably be 2. Yeah. I might flip BYU. Flip BYU Kansas? No, it's probably too hot of it. Is it too hot of a take? That I'd take Kansas? Semis Calderon. I don't think we've seen. Have we seen Calderon in this game? I don't think so. Immense gonna be awesome. I'm really excited for him. I feel like Ament and Caleb Wilson are 2 guys that didn't get the mainstream Team USA bump, so they're probably not as hyped as they should be at this point. And I feel like you can kind of say that even for Darryn as well, but he probably transcends that at this point. If he didn't before, now he certainly does. Oh my god, the bump Euro? Okay. Okay. He doesn't score, but Darryn is not a strength creator, but this is strength creation. That is beautiful. when I did my like advantage creation charting on Darryn, he was just again, it was almost exclusively. Also looks like a good pass by Mikel that we just missed, but it was almost exclusively, or like it was everything but strength creation. I truly don't give a shit about turnovers, as people who follow the channel know, especially in an exhibition game. But 6'5" Mobley is crazy. He does have that kind of like gangliness going on. He has a similar like good deflection. He's a deflection machine. Her top 3 fit best with the Hawks, definitely Peterson. For sure, Peterson. I think him and Trey would be unstoppable. And another Peterson's been unbelievable on defense in this game. Oh my goodness. Whew. That's what he does, though. I love the 6'5" Mobley compare. I can't unsee that. I feel like they even have similar like hair, or at least not. I know I don't actually think they do have similar hair, but at least like from the camera angle with like this poor quality. But I actually am like 100% confident they have different hair. But yeah, not even close. Wooly, man, been a rough one for my guy Wooly. That's okay. It's an exhibition. But yeah, Darryn. Oh my God, Darryn and Trey, Boozer and Darryn. I mean, I think all really, but I think like if you really need to keep the ball in Trey's hands all the time, then Boozer maybe. But I think if the Hawks are going to win a title with Trey, I think it's probably with another star perimeter scorer. So I would go with Darryn Peterson as the best fit there, just for like what I think they need to reach the highest level. I'm very interested in the Hawks, but they did not look good against the Raptors. Oh my! Whew. Split. And his ability to like shoulder contact while dribbling is so crazy. Like again, he's bump, and then perfect lob. He's oh my goodness. Yeah, Peterson is an awesome. Peterson is an awesome like mid-range shooter if he wants to be. But I think he'll get more to the rim. And I think he'll be more rim in 3 than like mid-range oriented. I would have Cooper very comfortably above AJ and Boozer. I'd have it Peterson and Cooper, and then like a half tier, and then Cam and AJ. Every time you trade, every team who trades for DeJounte Murray loses. They should stop doing it. I still can't believe the Pelicans did that, man. Oh my God. I don't even want to think about that. But I'm glad they did for Dyson Daniels' sake, actually. Oh, Bryson Tiller. Beautiful. Whew. Mikel. Yeah, the strength against contact, the contact bump thing is going to definitely be like a thing to pay attention to. But again, he's so young that Good drive by good drive by Council. This is some. I was it in these exhibition games as like as the game goes on, you can just see the defense just like deteriorating very quickly. Just like guys picking up two on the ball in transition, wide open cutters, offensive rebounders. Um, I've personally never thought of AJ as the number one prospect. I've always thought of him as either second or third. I just think the other two are far more, just have higher ceilings. I mean, I need to watch that game. Yeah, I saw people talking about my guy Queen. So I do need to see people. I do need to go watch that game today. I might do that later. I have some work to do, but I might do that after I work. But man, I think AJ is like a potential 30 points per game guy, but I think the ceiling of like a guy like Darryn who can be like a legit all-in-one initiator or boozer with his feet. Again, I just really value the feel component, and I think that's the most ceiling. Like again, I think that's more of a ceiling trade than anything. And not to say that AJ is bad in that department. I just don't think he's like elite like the other two are. And Cooper, obviously, for that regard, was elite there too. I do not need to watch this one. I actually will watch it because it's my job and I want to. But he will have better games. Yeah, in AAU, I think Darryn. I I think Darryn was just like they trapped him so much in AAU that he's like, all right, I'll split this trap and take a 10-foot push shot every time. But yeah, his 3-point volume has gone up slightly over the last couple of years. I actually agree with that. That I think AJ's path to being, if like I'm wrong about AJ and he is the number one guy, it's going to be because he turns himself into a special defensive player. I agree with that, which I'm skeptical of, but like it's theoretically possible because of his physical tools. I just think the mental side of it is so important and so far behind Peterson. At least Boozer, I have more like physical. Well, I think Peterson, it's less of one, I think I disagree with that criticism of Harper. I think people focused way too much on it, and I don't think it was true. And I think as Joshua was kind of alluding to as well, like, I don't think the thing with Peterson, he can do either thing, I think. I think he'll be able to kind of shift modes and play however he wants. But I think at his peak, I would guess he's like a primary drive, pull up three guy who also hopefully is still like sprinkled in with plenty of off ball movement and movement shooting. And I think a lot of the mid range shooting can naturally come from those off ball actions too, right? Like if you're running off pins and flares and stuff, and he's getting hard run off the line, and especially like good playoff defenses are taking away the rim, I think then you see him resort back to the floater and like the step back and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm curious to see how his shot diet evolves and how it looks this year. That's definitely like most of my questions with Peterson aren't because like with most ace-ish. Yeah. I think Ace is like honestly, he surprised me with his defense in college. I thought he was kind of like AJ to me, like in the mentality, like the awareness, the motor part of it. But I thought Ace was like pleasantly surprising there. And the thing that's different with like AJ is just a totally different level. AJ in total to AJ to me is kind of like what people who thought Ace Bailey is better than Cooper Flagg think. Like that's who AJ DeBanza is. Like that's who they think Ace is who DeBanza is. Oh my God, Flory. His handle is so bad, but like in an in an exhibition game, like it does not matter if he's dribbling off his foot and losing the ball. Like I promise you, get him handling in space, and he's going to be a wing creator. He's so athletic. It's hilarious. Oh my Lord. Speaking of, Bryson Tiller has been really impressive on defense this game. Did not expect that, but I'll take it. For what it's worth, AJ was, I thought, pretty impressive on defense in the Nebraska game. I mean, like, it's an exhibition, so it's not worth anything really to me. But it's at least like, okay, I've seen it on tape before. Like, I was just always disappointed. Like, again, I think it's in like it's most obvious to me in the Darryn versus AJ matchups, just because of the disparity in how those guys are wired and how those guys play, like, approach defense. But yeah, no, I would expect AJ to be a very good defender. Like, I think he's going to be a good NBA defender. I think he's too athletic to not be at least like a good defender. But yeah, the question really is like, can he be special on defense? I probably wouldn't think so, but if he does, then that I think really changes a lot for him, and it would be really cool if he does, because he has the physical tools to be like again, he's the most athletic wing prospect I've ever seen. Like it's absolute insanity what he can do. It's gonna be such a fun year for all three. Like, Alec Khalifa with the block. Let's go. Or was that Kobe Raj? I couldn't tell. Yeah, it's rare where we have three guys who are like at worst and above. I think all three of these guys are like at worst above average number one picks in like an average relative to an average class, and probably better than above average, honestly. Like Peterson, obviously. I think Boozer and AJ probably as well, based on how I expect them to play and how they've played so far. Oh, did Mikel get hurt? I'm pretty sure it's Mikel, and I keep saying Mikel. I'm gonna get that right. I'm gonna drill it into my head. Oh, Peterson back in the game. Nice. Wooly. NC State. I don't know why exactly they're talking about NC State, but I like this roster. This roster is good. Paul McNeil's going to be sick this year. That's his third awesome lob pass of the game. Beautiful. It is honestly so crazy that this is truthfully kind of a mid Darryn Peterson game, and yet it would be like the best game that so many prospects will ever have in their entire career. Like 25 on 15 shots with 5 steals in 25 minutes. And we're all like, yeah, I've seen better, because we have seen better. Like, there again, this is exhibition defense, and I am always curious with these. Like, I think it's another thing with Darryn where like I've seen him be a mega usage, like a mega usage guy with impact defense. Like that gets harder as the competition levels go up. So like, I'm curious to see just how impactful he is on defense this year. I think it'll be vary, but like there's obviously like levels between like a great defender and like an all-time guard. Was that a foul? I don't think so. Oh yeah, Darryn got fouled. Okay. I actually don't really want to call this a mid Darryn game because I think this is like an elite. I mean, he's been elite on defense in this game. Got better wings on their roster. NC State or Creighton? What is it? Creighton's like Blake Harper, Jackson McAndrew. Who else? And then NC State is Darryn, Paul McNeil, Matt Abel. I mean, I'm a big fan of the NC State wings. I don't know. I'm probably missing someone on Creighton. Oh, Greer. That is good. I think I'd probably take NC State just because I think Darryn is like very clearly the best college player of that group. And I prefer the complementary pieces a little bit more at NC State, but I do like that Creighton wing group. That is an interesting. I'm definitely intrigued by what those guys look like. Yeah, the Flory red flags are unfortunately a little bit too much to ignore. And again, it's like when these are the kind of turnovers that Darryn Peterson is logging, I'm just like, I don't care that the ref is calling an offensive foul. That's never going to get called in the league. Like, I think Boozer could be an okay like a good defender. I'm not ruling it out. My biggest worry with Boozer is just like if he ends up leaning more big on offense, which I view him as more of a wing personally, but Bryson Tiller, phenomenal. He's just like not that crazy of a twitchy, vertical, explosive athlete, and he doesn't have that much length, which is going to hurt him as a rim protector. And he's like definitely can move in space. He's like a great mover for like a 4-5. But I think when you ask him to play the 3, it's not as perfect. But I do agree he's a great post defender. He's a great rebounder, and he's brilliant. So Boozer, I think, has definitely a lower defensive ceiling than the other guys, but yeah, he's going to be good, I think. I thought he was like pretty underwhelming though on defense in the exhibition game, but like I said, it's an exhibition game, so everyone's defense gets bumped down a peg, unless you're Darryn Peterson, I guess, who's getting a million steals and more concerned about his defensive play types than offensively. Yeah, Boozer's definitely best when he can just be making like simple rotations on post ups or like face ups or something like that as just like a show defender or like a double teamer. But these are honestly more like NBA than college concerns to me. Like I am less worried about these things at Duke, to be clear. Like I wouldn't expect these issues to be crazy problematic in college. Şengün with better defense. I need Şengün. I've been I think my maybe not hot take from last season was that Şengün was better on defense than he was on offense by like a considerable margin. But after what he did against the Thunder, that take is possibly dead. But we'll see. Yeah, it hasn't been a crazy special game for Mikel or anything, but not too bad. I think again the box score looks worse than it is just because the shots aren't falling, and he's had open shots that he makes. So it's excellent. Like we said. Yeah. Yeah, Boozer's handle is definitely a slight worry. It is my biggest offensive worry with him for sure. Flory. Yeah, like again, just like he's handle like the ball control turnovers, especially ones that aren't because of like bumps or physicality, or it's just like this kind of stuff is not like overly concerning to me long term for any prospect. If Shangun could, if Shangun could, if Boozer can improve as a mover like Shangun has over the last couple of years, that would be very nice. McNeely? I don't know if he's made a shot this game either. Oh, he got fouled though. There we go. But yeah, Kansas is going to be unreal this year, I fear. Unfortunately, as a Mizzou fan, but fortunately as a Darryn Peterson fan. Yeah, let's get all the Flory touches. This is an exhibition game. I need Flory to play point guard. It's like, man, that size difference between Flory and Bryson Tiller is crazy. I'll tell you someone whose three-point volume is going to be very high this year. Mikel. There you go. But I do have lots of other questions surrounding him as a prospect. Hey, advantage creation is important for small guards. It matters. I have no interest in critiquing or thinking about a team's X's and O's or scheme in a preseason game, personally. But I've liked some of the Ali Khalifa dribble handoff hub stuff. That was my favorite. So, oh my lord, Bryson Tiller is cooking. Yeah, unfortunate that Woolley struggled to get it going in this game. Okay, this game is basically over at this point, but there we go. Are we fouling down 10 in a preseason game? I swear to God. Tiller again. Good D on Conwell. He's been stellar in this game. Very impressive. Excited to see if he can continue this into the season because his flashes were awesome today. All right. I assume this is just going to be like free throws at this point. So first game where Darryn has taken a floater. I think he only took threes, right? Did he take any twos? He's like one or two twos, maybe, right? Or okay, he took 5 twos. Felt like less than that. All right. Thanks everyone for joining the stream and hanging out. As always, likes, comments, subscribes on the videos would be very much appreciated. And yeah, thanks everyone. Hope y'all have a good rest of your day.